Okay. The mayor grumbled through a veil of cigar smoke. So, tell me again, why do you think you deserve to be legitimized? Robble, robble, replied the cloaked man. The mayor put his cigar out in a large marble ashtray. Fair enough, but I've seen your work. You're sloppy. Robble? There's only one kind of job where it's okay to be a little sloppy, HB. He checked his pocket watch as he pushed back from his large oak desk. He threw his sash over his shoulder and undid his purple tuxedo jacket. Well, do you want to be some lowly burglar all your life, or do you want to work for the government? Rubble, rubble. The boss nodded his huge head towards his crotch. Then get to work. Rubble. Fed up with the simple criminal's ineptitude to grasp the situation, the boss removed a chrome .357 Magnum from the top right desk drawer and pointed it at his face. Why? Why? Because I'm Mayor motherfucking McCheese, that's why. He cocked the hammer back and used the gun to motion him over. Hamburglar approached the mayor and reluctantly fell to his knees. His gloved hands undid the buttons on the boss's striped pants. There you go, HB. Robble on that for a while, said the mayor, as he tossed his top hat onto the desk. And leave the mask on, you sound ugly. Hamburglar pulled down the arches emblazoned wax paper that served as the mayor's undergarments and wrestled out what was some sort of half-human, half-cheeseburger snack wrap. The head was a bulbous, sweaty meatball, but the shaft was all man, yet inexplicably slathered in a hearty cloak of ketchup and mustard. He closed his eyes tight and swallowed his breath in preparation as he let out one last whimpered, "Rubble." The mayor grabbed him by the back of the head and thrust him onto a strange food dick. Hurry up, I need this order to go, belted the mayor. And hold the onions, which he meant quite literally because his balls were in fact 2 small shallot onions. He leaned back in his chair and closed his eyes in a rare moment of unguarded bliss, the kind of ecstasy that could only come from having your weird meatball-capped condiment boner and onion balls serviced by a cheeseburger-stealing retard. Hamburglar regretfully worked his way around the shaft, using the ketchup and mustard as a salty lube when working up to the beefy tip. Oh, that beefy tip. How many times he craved that very flavor. Hell, he'd resorted to a life of crime just to get a minuscule taste of it. He cupped the mayor's onion nuts gently and began emitting sounds of pleasure. Rubble. He found himself closing his eyes. Occasionally, he'd stroke the trunk while suckling the head. The meaty zenith began to blossom with a dollop of what tasted like cheese. Oh, you little bandit, you, exclaimed McCheese with a playful chuckle. Let's try a new heist, bandit. He pushed himself back from his meat loins and stood up, letting his trousers fall completely to the floor. He leaned over his desk, turning his giant sandwich head back over his shoulder. You're a criminal. Why don't you go ahead and crack my safe? McCheese lifted the tails of his tuxedo jacket to reveal 2 sesame seed buns. Much to the mayor's surprise, Hamburglar flung off his fedora and dove unabashedly at the happy meal. He buried his face in between the sandwich handles and munched about, licking his way through hot Thousand Island dressing and pickle slices. Sure, there was an actual dude's asshole in there somewhere, because of course there is when a guy is a guy, but he's also a fucking cheeseburger. But none of this swayed the Hamburglar. He'd risked going to prison for that succulent flavor before, and he'd do it again. He reached around McCheese's waist and grabbed his dinner crank. Oh shit, you really know how to keep the hot side hot and the cold side cold, McCheese squealed. He bucked his ass buns into the Hamburglar's face, and his onion balls tightened. The tiny gloved hand massaged the mayor's meaty man-dong until it became an unbridled spraying cheese hose. I'm loving it, cried the mayor. But Hamburglar wasn't concerned with McCheese's pleasure. He reached between the mayor's legs. With one hand, he collected as much of the cheesy jizz or jizzy cheese as he could and slapped it into the boss's still twitching burger butt. With the other hand, he collected the revolver. Whoa, easy back there, bandit, sighed McCheese, out of breath. You're hired. Shit, you just earned vacation time. Hamburglar ignored the mayor. The cheesy discharge blended with the Thousand Island dressing and drove his animal senses into a carnal frenzy. He stood up straight and threw his cape to the ground. He undid his black and white striped jumpsuit. The mayor attempted to get up, only to have his burger face pushed back into the desk by the Hamburglar. Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? With a .357 cocked and pointed at McCheese's head, the Hamburglar was ready to reveal the real reason he'd been locked up. Because nobody gets 25 to life just for stealing cheeseburgers. Robble, motherfucker. His engorged penis had made its own prison break from his underwear and was ready to tunnel out, as they say. But first, a little payback. On top of the payback he was already going to get from butt-fucking Mayor McCheese. The Hamburglar grabbed the bag of loot he carried around compulsively and tossed it on the desk. Robble, he commanded. Oh, come on, HB, you can't be serious, pleaded McCheese. Robble, he commanded again coolly. You're fucking sick, man. You know that? You're fucking sick. Robble, he agreed. With shaking hands, the mayor removed a stale cheeseburger from the bag. His facade has been broken, and now he was crying. He unwrapped the burger and slowly pushed it into wherever his mouth might be on his face. He retched through one bite, only to spit it out, sobbing. You see, it's gross for him because it's like a cannibal thing because he's a burger, and now he's like eating a burger, or it's like a gay thing, but with food instead of dicks, because like he's super homophobic, but just with sandwiches. Like he wouldn't shower with other burgers, but he's okay with naked dudes, which makes sense because he was getting a blowjob from a guy earlier in this story. So it's probably because it's a cannibal thing that's gross. Hamburglar plunged his meat thermometer deep into the mayor's gooey, oozy food caboose. He came quickly in a robble, few, robble, short burst, robble. That's what prison had done to him. No time to linger or cuddle. No time to savor the taste. Just in and out, animal style. McCheese lay defeated and motionless on the desk, and Hamburglar got dressed. A mixture of cheese, dressing, blood, and mayonnaise was traveling down the mayor's legs, collecting on the hardwood floor. As the Hamburglar collected his hat and cape, he pulled a simple piece of paper from his bag of loot. Gold on one side, plain on the other. It looped around to form a cylinder and fastened together at the ends, creating a simple, yet quite meaningful crown. Hamburglar placed it atop the head of the mayor, who looked at him through bloodshot, tear-soaked eyes. He muttered out a barely audible, "So, you were working for King all along." "Robble," replied Hamburglar, raising the revolver to his McCheesy, doughy temple. The mayor let out a weak, defeated chuckle. "I should have known. Fine. Have it your way."
Danny Sullivan, get up here. Let's give it over for Danny Sullivan. Kyle started